What's good, everybody? This is Y and Z, a conversation between the generations. Welcome to 2026. I represent one half
Yeah.
of that equation. Jay Clark is the name, the Y part of that equation, better known as the millennials, the greatest generation, as we continue to see proven on this here face of the earth. The other half of that equation, representing Generation Z, the young blood, Xavier D. Lewis. Like, share, subscribe, reviews, comments, all that good jazz. Young blood. How are you feeling at the top of the year? How was your holiday season? It has been a couple weeks. We back, y'all.
Yeah, man, it's been a couple weeks. Man, mostly work through my holiday season, but nonetheless, it was pretty fine. It was dope. It was good stuff. I mean, great money. Ain't mad about that. But nonetheless, man, great start to the year. Got some great things in the works. If y'all don't follow us, individually or just together collectively as a podcast, this is the year, man. Just hop on board while you got time. Hop on board. There's some great things coming out the works.
Please, yes, because yeah, we push forward. The fight never never ends. Before we get into today's topic, let me ask you, what is one highlight that you had for yourself over the holiday season, sir?
One highlight for
Like what
myself.
what would you be like? This was the memory or the thing of the holiday season we just came out of.
You know, I really don't have. I mean, I guess my big highlight, I guess, would be just for 2025. And this might not mean much for some, but as a young 23-year-old, I guess it meant a lot to me. This is the first year I was able to get all of my family something individually, right? I bought my
Oh,
mom something, my dad something, my siblings something,
he said he was balling, spending that bread. Okay, okay.
I was just happy to, this is I can mark 2025 as the first year that I got everybody their own individual gift. And, that's a milestone. I don't think we think about oftentimes when we think of like holiday milestones, we often don't think about what we're able to do for others. But in this case, I think that's the highlight of my year, what I was able to do for my family because they was there for me in a lot of ways in 2025.
Okay, okay. For me, mine was not as rich as you, sir. Let me hold $5.
Man, please.
Um, I think I witnessed my son's first game cheating moment, and
Oh,
it was conflicting. Like,
what's
cause
the details? You got to give me the details
so
of
we
this.
so we was my in laws they held the grandparents Christmas, so all the grandkids. And so we brought out the Switch, was playing some Mario Party, and my son's 7, so he's just now starting to get into like games like that to where he's playing this. So we're
Yeah.
playing Mario Party, and so being the good dad that I am, you can set up stars ahead of time on Mario Party. So I gave him the max 5 stars out the game. So I'm like, no matter what, he gonna come out on top. No matter what this experience was, he gonna come out on top as long as we make it to the finish line. We never made it to the finish line, because we got how Mario Party switches over
Right,
in
right.
that last part of the game. And so I was surprised. Young man got into it. He was having fun, cheering, winning some middle game mini games, competing. So even if I hadn't have given them the 5 stars, he was in it, and would have. We got to a stretch of 3 mini games back to back, and I saw it developing an attitude. It was, it's not jumping, it's not doing what I say. And I noticed it.
Ooh.
We got to that third middle game, and it was, because he's new into it, and some of them jumping, it takes a little
Right,
coordination.
right.
He ain't quite there yet, but again, he was competing. It was this game where you had to jump up the vine, and you had to direct the jump. So literally, it's just direct
Right,
and
right,
jump.
right.
Simple coordination, but he ain't quite there yet. About 2/3 of the way through that mini game, I, it's not letting me jump. I'm not jumping that way. No, it's not doing it. To where all of a sudden and I felt it brewing. Just came out. No, this game's cheating. This game's a cheetah. Because he learned to speak in New Zealand, so he don't quite get them R's out correctly. And there was such aggression and passion in that the game's a cheetah, and he broke right there. Broke. Couldn't be. Even his mama couldn't console him. Like it was. I'm never playing this game. Like it was it. It was a wrap. We stopped playing. But there was this weird proud dad energy, like,
Yeah.
I know that feeling. I've had
We all
years of
know
that
it.
feeling. I've been there. I've broken
We
controllers over that
all
feeling.
know that feeling.
To witness his first time truly getting that, like the game is cheating. And again, the game wasn't cheating, like he was still competitive, but to him, the game was cheating. So it was weird, proud dad moment, like, yes,
That
pride
that
of
is
passion's
such
there.
a memorable feeling. I can think all the way back to last night. I'm playing Madden, and I'm like, obviously, there's a conspiracy happening in Madden right now because I caught that, and it said I didn't.
I threw that before. Yeah, I've been there plenty of times. Plenty of times.
Playing Black Ops Zombies, I killed that zombie. What do you mean? He died a second death, and I'm still on the ground.
Rites of passage. Again, weird, but I was proud.
That's a great moment. That's a great moment. Things like that you can't even predict.
Oh, no, you can't. And I was there to witness it. It wasn't like I heard about it or I had to come fix it. Like, go stop. No, I witnessed it. Anyways, Y and Z, a conversation between the generations. Let's get into some fun this week, or we're going to see what it turns into. Because, everybody doing these look backs as we do around this time. So, Youngblood here was like, hey, let's take it back to the good old days. And surprisingly, the good old days was for him about 10 years ago. Because 10 years ago from now was the summer of 2016. Sir, what does the summer of 16 mean for you?
Man, just this is like, think about it here. Let's
your 12-year-old self, just to make sure, because you was
13. Okay,
13. Okay. You was a teenager. Your first year being a teenager. Woo!
Yes. Pokemon Go. Let's just start right there. The world was just better when people were outside. Let's probably get back to that this year. Beyonce dropping Lemonade, I think, and those that style of braid, just empowering the black woman. Come on, guys. Summer 16. You had a hit song, summer song of the year, Cheerleader. Ooh, I think that I found nice beach party song. Come on. And of course, I mean, like you said, first year of me being a teenager, entering into high school,
Not a saw that was ahead of you, but yeah.
Amazing year of transition. And, the sea opens up that freshman year of high school. Especially being who I am. Everybody already knew me,
it was the start of your journey. I'm sure it was the start of,
singing, everybody. Or people who didn't know me, they're like, oh my God, who is he? He sings well and yada, yada, yada. I mean, just it's a great year for, applications, a great year for human resources.
Man, you ain't lying. When 2016, yeah, we was outside and I was grown. I was an adult.
You was an adult.
That's my completed first year of marriage. So, we got married in June.
Wow.
2015, so year one was down. We in year two.
So you still honeymooning right then still?
The honeymoon was over at that point, and that's another story. That's a story for another day. We're not going to go here now. At that point, let me put it this way. At that point, you tell me where I am now and today, or where we are, me and her, and where we are today, it's like, ooh, God in that blessing business.
Right.
And it's not even the relationship aspect. It's just again,
balancing life
for another day. But that testimony from and hallelujah. But not 20. Yeah, good brunches, being in DC, good brunches, making some money, thinking I'm doing some things in career and stuff. Yeah, that was the last.
Mean, for the most part, we do try to forget the travesty of November 2016. I can really remember sitting in class. And being like the next morning and just being like, there's just no way, right? There is no way.
The end of the good times and good vibes for the most part that people speak about when it comes to the summer of 16 and what all that represents. It's kind of the last, as I think you put it when we were talking before, it's like that was the last good times. Like, yeah, as a whole, I think since then, yeah, especially because of what happened in November and all, it's been downhill ever since, it seems.
It was, I don't know. And then also, it was another year of just great transition too, because I can remember that year and you stopped getting headphones with your iPhone. because they removed the headphone jack. You know, just a
Yeah, that
very,
final switch over to being like a true digital world, that's like, yeah, the door's closed.
very transformative year. You know, 26, it was just, and I don't know, maybe we just hype it up, but like I said, I even feel like the music just was better that year. That was just a great year for music. I think that's when, is that when Views came out by Drake?
You got Lemonade, Seat at the Table, Blonde from Frank Ocean, Black Summer's Night by Maxwell,
Blonde by Frank Ocean. Wow.
Malibu from Anderson .Paak. You got Her Volume 1. You've got, let me see, what else was in? I think you got Life of Pablo, Chance with Coloring Book. Kendrick
Wow.
Lamar dropped Untitled Unmastered. You've got, yeah, man, you got some okay stuff. It ain't super memorable. That's not a
But
list you have a lot of confidence in, and it's not that
true,
deep.
true. But I'll even say this. What was I about to, 2016, just like a very, and I'm not gonna say it was the blackest year in the last 10 years, but that was the year of the start of the Black Lives Matter movement. You had Colin Kaepernick out here taking knees. You know, it just felt the most blackest year of my living. I'll put it like that. You know, it was just like, oh, I've never seen black people be radical at the front of the line, kind of stuff
Okay,
like
yeah,
that.
okay, that's an energy you hadn't necessarily seen before. I
Yeah, I
can,
had never seen that before, so this
okay.
was new to me heavily. And then you also had Beyonce putting Formation in the Super Bowl, kind of like highlighting HBCUs and stuff like that. It just felt like a generally very kind of black year for me. Well, but more black than I had ever seen before. I'll put it like that.
It was, I think it's definitely right in being a turning point. I think it's the calm. It's one of those years like, okay, yeah, things before it were one way and things after
After
were
we're not,
another.
yeah,
I can
yeah,
see your opinion on that. I don't necessarily agree, that's also because of your age. Some of the things you hadn't witnessed.
right, right, right.
But with that said, let's go ahead. Let's go 10 years back more. You know, let's take it 20 years back
Okay,
to
2006.
2006, which is hard to believe is 20 years ago. Um,
A nice, ripe 4-year-old Xavier.
I transferred to Howard that year.
That's the year you train. Wow. Wow. New kid on the block, Jason.
Yeah. And like I said, because I remember like I had transferred over, I had sent in the application over winter break. So it's
Ooh.
it's either like January or February. I remember getting that email or even letter because I think my mama had to call me because I was up in my bed in my dorm room at the time. So just like, yeah, that made that first part of that year worry free. It's like, okay, I'm going to a new place that felt like home. It allowed me to party my ass off as a freshman at my first school because it's like at that point the grades themselves didn't matter.
No.
So you want to talk about some wild, not giving a
Oh,
F
you talking
times?
about spring of 2006 before you
Spring
went
of
over to Howard that fall?
right as a freshman in college. So it's not just like
Oh,
because
yeah.
I was at school first. I transferred out of from my first college to go to
So,
Howard. So it was truly
yeah.
like, oh, I get to wild out with low key, almost no repercussions.
These
Because
people will not see you in the fall. These professors won't see you again. Yeah.
I was having some fun. So oh yeah, and then yeah, then '06 to actually be at how yeah, '06 was a
Let's even think about this, right? '06. Arguably, like I said, this is a great year. Watch
tell
this.
me about it. Tell me about it. Go ahead.
Buy you a drink, T-Pain. What? That is crazy work. I know people hate on this movie. I love this movie. It's a great black staple movie, if you ask me. ATL came out in '06. Like 4-year-old Xavier was having the time of his life.
T.I.'s King.
Really?
Rick Ross dropped Port of Miami with Hustlin'. We had Chameleon Air
Bro,
with Riding. Little John fully still in that crunk juice era. Snap your fingers. Man, the snap music of the man, the
Oh,
clubs and
six
parties
still
we was
had it,
having
bro.
during. Oh man, early Chris Brown,
Oh, six
Trey Songz,
still
Neo, like all
had
these.
it.
Oh man, like yeah, it's good times.
Rockaware was still in there.
Beyonce really starting to get into more of her solo stuff.
Oh yeah,
This
this
just
was
dropped
very
Deja
baby
Vu,
Beyonce.
Irreplaceable. It's like man, the early
Mm.
man, this we
Early
thought we had
Beyonce was a force to be reckoned with. It was
we thought we
like,
had the future ahead of us based off the culture of the '90s and we thought it was like, oh, yeah, we getting grown now. We going to experience some good times. We had some good times. But we didn't know there was only about 10 years iffy of good times left.
man, that's. I mean, why? I mean, yeah, yeah. You had the. Let's just even talk about this, right? The rise of Tyler Perry to the mainstream audience, right? Things like that that would definitely shape the next 10 years, honestly. '06 played a major role in shaping the next couple of years.
It was good times. Even we looking at some of the films. Let's see, where the American films. Let's see. Well, top 10 films of 2006. Here we go. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest,
Wow.
Night at the Museum,
The
Cars.
first one?
Yeah, the first one, Night at the Museum, Cars, X-Men: The Last Stand, The Da Vinci Code, Superman.
Cars came out in 2006?
Yeah. Happy Feet, Ice Age: The Meltdown, Casino
Happy
Royale,
Feet came out in
and The Pursuit. Yeah,
2006?
you was having a good child. You was eating good as a kid here. Cars, Happy Feet, and Ice Age: The Meltdown. You was eating good as a little 4 year
Watch
old
this.
baby.
Aquila and the Bee, 2006. Bro, that is crazy work.
High School Musical, January 2000. It's been 20 years of High School Musical.
What? Okay, on the other side of that, and I've gone back. Of course, I didn't watch this movie in real time, but my God, is this a great movie? The Pursuit of Happiness, 2006.
Man, okay, so dream that movie giving dreams because at that point you don't relate to either character. At my age, we're not young, we're not the old head either. But it was like in that whole hustle, like, oh, you can, man, the
Mm.
dreams inspired from that
Ooh.
movie,
Those,
which have become nightmares. And a lot of us are now in that. How are we making this work?
bro. And this is the thing that just messes me up. Just go on a side tangent here. This is the thing. We have what they didn't have, and it still feels like that we're not doing as good as they were.
Shall we get more depressed?
Let's go back to Mo.
Let's take it back 10 more. And this run right 30 years. I'm struggling with that a little bit. 30 like I know my age. I know when I was born. But you're trying to tell me that right now, 1996,
30
far
years
away
ago.
today as I felt 66 was when I was 9 years old,
You know,
is wild. It's wild. But it was
you know,
epic. Shall we talk about how great this year was? Where do you want to start, sir?
I don't even
In the
know.
before times. Simply before 9/11. That's one.
Do you start with Tupac or Biggie?
We're past that at that point, sir. 96
96?
is like the start of becomes the start of the baggy air, the shiny,
Oh yeah.
this the turnaround. This is, we are through the storm. The storm has happened and the turnaround, and we are about to enter the shiny suit era because that's that man who is
Right.
in jail now. But outside of that, are you ready? Let me go here, right? R&B classic. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
These are simply your number one R&B hits from the year. These are just the number ones. Whitney Houston with the Exhale Shoop Shoop song. Monica, Before You Walk Out of My Life.
Wow.
Mary J. Blige, Not Gonna Cry.
Wow.
He Who Shall Not Be Named with Down Low featuring Ronald Isley. SWV, You're the One. Mariah Carey, Always Be My Baby. Bone Thugs and
Wow.
Harmony with The Crossroads. Tony Braxton, You're Making Me High. Tupac with How Do You Want It? Tony Braxton again came back on the chart, and again, He Who Shall Not Be Named again with I Can't Sleep. Keith Sweat, Twisted. New Edition, Hit Me Off. New Edition came back in 96. Aaliyah. Asked 1 in a Million, that whole album. Anywho, Blackstreet, No Diggity, Genuine Pony, and He Who Shall Not Be Named with I Believe I Can Fly, and then Keith Sweat with Nobody. Those are just the number one records.
I Believe I Can Fly.
Those are just the number one songs.
I Believe I Can Fly is 96.
Space Jam is 96. Space Jam is 96.
But also 96 is what? The Nutty Professor.
Mm-hmm.
The Preacher's Wife.
Go ahead. Keep going. Yes.
People wanted Whitney Houston to sleep with that angel.
To cheat on a husband with an angel. Ready? Independence Day.
Really?
The first Mission Impossible.
What? And that movie was revolutionary. You used to watch Mission Impossible and be like, wow, the technology.
Like,
set it off.
Games. No games.
Set it off. You listening to Sam Cooke's A Change Is Gonna Come as she getting shot up.
Let's see. What TV shows premiered in 96? We got VH1 Storytellers. Premiered in 96. You got The Faculty. Premiered in 96. You've got, let's see, Power Rangers Zeo. Shout out. Dexter's Laboratory. Premiered in 96.
Dexter's Laboratory. Love Dexter's Laboratory.
The Daily Show, Keenan and Kel, Steve Harvey Show, Seventh Heaven, which is trash, but you still know what it is. Malcolm and Eddie, The Jamie Foxx Show.
Martin.
No,
Fresh Prince.
No, those
they didn't debut, but they were hit shows during the time.
Martin might have been off by then, I think.
Oh, no.
Fresh Prince ended in 96, I believe, right?
Yeah, Fresh Prince ended in 96,
mm-hmm.
But 96 was still peak Martin.
Okay, still peak Martin. Okay. Yeah, Martin, those things were just still on the air, supporting. Judge Judy premiered in 96.
Judge Judy premiered. That's crazy.
Like, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the show premiered in 96.
Great show, by the way. Great sitcom.
Like, Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego over on PBS.
That is a great throwback.
It's a classic.
That is a classic.
Unfortunate. Shout out to the destruction of PBS. Because it's that right there. And here's what's crazy is kind of bringing it all together is like in 06, we knew 96 was a classic. No question.
Right.
Already then. We're sitting here in 10 years later past 16, and while we admit 16 is good, it ain't that good.
I keep trying to figure out what year would have been that turning year between 06 and 16. What was that turning year?
I mean, it all depends on what you're talking about. Music is one thing, TV is another. Social media is introduced between those two and changes the game. There's a lot of changes within that stretch of 06 to 16. There's more changes, I would say, than between 96 and 06.
06, right.
Really the biggest change between 96 and 06 out of something like, 9/11 and all the issues in the Middle East and the political stuff. Yeah, things are becoming more clear. Technology is advancing, but we got the music streaming is not a thing, but digital is starting to become a thing because you had Napster
right between 96 and 06. Yeah,
not so much of a change where it's like these are major rock shifting things versus past 06. Yeah, you start to get into some major shifts. Like, yeah, we have cell phones more common between 96 and 06, but what you do with those cell phones really becomes expanded upon between 06 and 16. Like, would
you say like 2012 would be like your most, if you just had to pick 11, a monumental year?
Something around there in that midst. Like, it changes things, and we're still trying to adjust to that. Because again, I think the problem is nobody can pinpoint it. Nobody's like, that's the thing. But depending on what sector you're
Nope.
talking about, but as a whole, there's no one thing
Nope.
outside of maybe a certain demographic of folk being so mad about what happened in '08 and have since dedicated entire Sixers of retribution towards that. But anywho,
Thank you.
um, yeah, it's it was interesting because like especially having come up in a lot of these, like, and I'm sure it's even more for like Gen X and some of the other, like you've seen a lot more. As a
Definitely.
millennial, we just really saw kind of the peak. Yeah, it's a big shift, and I think we're struggling, as we've talked about. What do these things mean going forward? How do we evaluate? Because I think you can confidently say the weight, and even, or let me ask you this: knowing how us millennials, a lot of us feel about our time as younger, i.e., the '90s and 2000s, do you feel that your energy around your time, which let's just call the 2000s and 2010 so far, is anywhere matched?
I think nostalgic is going to be a thing for each individual generation. I think if that makes sense. I think certain things will obviously be more nostalgic for one generation than the other. I think the biggest thing though, I don't think the 20, I don't think the late or, I don't think the 2000s, early 2010s is the part in question. I think you get into foggy waters concerning the late 2010s and what has been so far the
Well,
2020s when it comes to my generation.
well, that's what I'm asking. Is like, well, how do y'all feel about this? 'Cause that's your time. Like, for
Correct.
because for example,
If
like,
you were born, if you're mostly a Gen Zer, the 2020s have been your adulthood.
because
You're
even
coming into adulthood.
because let me phrase it to you this way. Let's jump back 10 years. Let's act like it's 2016 right now, right? In 2016, we were missing 2006 a little bit. In 2006, we weren't missing 96 like that, like that. That nostalgia. So there's, I think one of the things that definitely shifted is, yeah,
Correct, correct, correct.
nostalgia has become more like we weren't missing 96 like that in '06. No, it was like, no,
Nostalgia has just become the selling point.
of
It's
everything.
become of everything.
Do you feel, because we all know it's not there, but in terms of your memory and experience, do y'all feel that it's there? Do y'all feel strongly about your experience outside of COVID and what that did to y'all? That's like, yeah, we had some great days and the stuff that we had for us in this time.
I don't think I think we're as nostalgic as you can be about something that's dying. I think a lot of things, yeah, thank you. Right. I
That's
don't think we I don't think we witnessed the things that you deem great, you witnessed the peak of it. I think some of the things that we're nostalgic about, we witnessed the decline of it, and we still found its decline better than the rise of what's happening right now. That and those are, like I said, those are the selling points, and that's why we can't
okay.
move forward. Because when something is declining and something else has to rise up, you have to give it the grace to rise up to be great. But I feel like everybody is so concerned about what happened before, we're not even allowing it to kind of grow its legs to get to that point of great. Like people just didn't start off thinking that streetwear was what it was, but then next thing you know, you give it some legs, it keeps growing. Streetwear is the number one thing that everybody wants to wear. They want to wear the baggy pants, they want to wear the oversized tees, they want to wear the hats. You know what I'm saying? Things that were already it were niche to certain cultures now has become a nationwide thing. So I feel like in my day and age, we haven't allowed things to grow legs because we're so worried about 20 years ago.
Interesting premise. I agree. And let me throw this in there as well. I'm gonna say y'all, but I don't, it's not y'all because y'all are
Yeah,
not
yeah,
necessarily
yeah.
the ones in control. But as we've talked, there's a, and it's not just straight nostalgia. There's no innovation going on with a lot of these sectors, and we're not gonna get too deep into it right now because you opened up a rabbit hole that I could premise premise. Black people's mainstream cultural innovations have been low for a minute. We're still the driving
Right.
force, as has been behind a lot of stuff. But in terms of innovation, culture
Mm,
has thrived off of our innovation in a lot of areas.
correct.
And I think there is a fight between what innovation may look like now, because somebody might call it, hey, there's a lot of cool. I think there's a fight now between what that innovation looks like and may be allowed to happen versus what is being sold, because a lot of that innovation came with that side not understanding what was truly happening. And I think what we have seen over easily the last 30 years is that side understanding what was happening and how to deconstruct it or stop it, because some of the power that we don't necessarily always recognize is within some of these movements to be
Correct.
hampered. I think that's a discussion for a whole nother episode though, because that's a deep,
That's a rabbit hole to go down.
that's a deep
That
rabbit hole.
is a rabbit hole to go down.
But it's one of it's where's the innovation from urban culture?
We can't just recycle 20 years ago as if people 20 years ago aren't still around.
But I think that's what your generation, because I think it's interesting. That's what your generation is doing. It's because
Yes.
but I also think it's a benefit no other generation has had. Your generation has essentially had, for what has made it through up until your point, access to everything that's available before it, whether that is vintage, whether that is content and all that kind of stuff. Y'all have literally had, oh, I can go watch the Cosby Show right now as an old school classic and get into it, whatever, because it's available here
Like
on
it
this
came out
platform.
yesterday.
Whatever. Versus mine and others before it. No, you had what was being served, and so we all have a similar memory because we enjoyed the thing or didn't. We all have an opinion and awareness because so much was being served to us, and that's all we had. Versus y'all like, oh, 70s bell bottoms. Okay, cool. How can I take this and do something
Look,
new? Or
it's all it is we're being taken to Golden Corral. You guys were taken to a restaurant with a set menu.
and I like that analogy. Life for y'all is Golden Corral, where nothing is great. Occasionally good, but
But
there's a
they're
lot of
banking on
options,
the
and you
fact,
can make
yeah,
whatever you want
exactly.
to have.
They're banking on the fact that, oh, we have all of these options. It's amazing.
You're gonna get what you want. What you want. I'm not promising great. I'm actually promising that
Nope.
you're gonna get what you want, whether you
And
like it or
somebody
not.
is listening to this right now and they're just like, but I love Golden Corral. But let me ask you this. Do you truly trust a restaurant to make an amazing steak and also make amazing rice and gravy? No.
Not
Those
unless
two
they, not
things
unless it
don't
was a steak
go.
and gravy restaurant, but that's an interesting analogy and a great way of putting it. Because yeah, y'all grew up with the buffet.
I mean, the buffet was already built and ready for my generation to partake of it.
Hmm. And y'all are more than willing and more open to the I I don't want steak. I always want chicken nuggets. It don't matter. Okay, this place is always gonna have chicken nuggets for me. It don't matter. That's y'all's
You see what I'm
experience.
saying?
That's y'all's
It,
experience. I want what I
exact.
want
And
when
so
I
it's
want, no
like
matter what.
they were testing it out with you guys. You know, you had some levels of avenues where you could maybe go in there and browse and, do whatever like that. But it wasn't like something that you did all the time. I.e., Blockbuster, right? Blockbuster had a vast inventory, yes, from things from the past, but that was almost like a luxury. Like, you don't always go to Blockbuster and get a movie or whatever like that. This is not something that you do on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. This is almost kind of considered.
No, we were going to Blockbuster on a weekly basis. But no, but to take your example there, the question wasn't you're going to get an old movie. The question is what old movies would they have?
Correct.
You didn't know. You just had to browse what they had, similar to what we have on net. But again, what Netflix can hold so much more, because essentially that Blockbuster was limited to its retail square foot and trying to fit in everything. Oh yeah,
And that also depended on where you were. Like every Blockbuster store didn't have the same thing. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Netflix around the globe, for the most part, has or we'll just say Netflix in America. Netflix in America, everybody's home has the same amount of movies, the same selection of movies. It's the same thing. It's literally the buffet experience.
Sir, I like a good analogy.
You know me.
Can't always give Gen Z credit, but
Hey, bro, I'm telling you that in my head because I was like, are we really gonna sit here and act like the things that we're getting just because we're able to get everything that this is a great medium? I don't think it is.
Oh no, it's not. It sucks, and we'll have to discuss that on a later episode because, whew, yeah, the other, but just looking back, yeah, good times. 2026 has come in and told 25 to hold his beer. We're a week into the year.
Bro, a couple of days into the year, this guy stole a president. You can't make this up. You can't make it up. He stole a president.
It's Y and Z, a conversation between the generations. I represent Generation Y, aka the Millennials. Jay Clark is the name. The other half, Gen Z, Xavier D. Lewis. We appreciate any time you have spent with us through this
And let
conversation.
me say this too. While I'm getting some grievances off my chest. I don't know what the NFL got going on, but the Ravens, we shouldn't have lost the other night against the Steelers.
Like, share, subscribe. You got some comments, facts, and opinions. Holler at us. Let us know you're a Ravens fan.
Yes. You Philly boy, you.
Sir, don't disrespect me like that. No. No, 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 not no Philly boy, you. I got proof.
I
right
know
here.
you like them cowgirls and whoop-de-whoop-de.
Just saying.
Yada,
Even,
yada,
even after a
yada.
terrible season, even with a terrible guy running the team, and we might never win another one until he die. But
This is exactly correct.
still, I've seen my team win 3 Super Bowls.
The last time I seen the Ravens win was when my boy, my namesake was retiring. Ray Lewis was retiring, and that's the last time they won the Super Bowl.
You claiming the last name is the namesake? Generally, when people
Yes.
say namesake, it's the first name.
No. Anybody that got that Lewis name, they my name.
They might be kin,
They
but
my
they not your
namesake.
namesake. You might see that. Hey, I gave Gen Z props, and here they go messing up as usual. We can never end on an up note. Pray for them. Anywho, y'all be safe out there. We'll catch y'all later, and until next time, peace.
Peace.